Hello guys, this is Brian here with a update video for my surgery. Today is Tuesday, December the 26th, 2017. So let me tell you what happened. It's been a week since my surgery for the pinched nerve in the elbow, which is cubical tunnel, and a pinched nerve in the wrist, which is carpal tunnel. And it did something else for the nerve. I don't know if he moved it, it did something that I had to look up. The surgery itself went okay. However, there was kind of a problem in the beginning. His office called me and said, "Hey, we have a cancellation. Do you want to be," because the original time for my surgery was at 4 o'clock and be at the hospital at 2. And the office called me that morning and said, "Hey, we have a cancellation. Do you want to move your surgery up from 4 to 2 and be at the hospital at noon?" I said, "Sure. That won't be a problem. You know, um, really, sooner the better. You know." Um, and we did that. I got to the hospital and they made me change to a gown. Um, they did make me take off my sweatpants, but they let me get my underwear on. Yeah, because they put those little things on your legs that blow up um, for blood clots. And, they got everything ready, and, 2 o'clock came. No doctor. Okay, maybe he's running a little bit behind. 2:30 came. They put the IV in, but no anesthesiologist, no doctor. Right? I decided to call his office at 3 o'clock. I said, "Here it is 3 o'clock. My surgery was supposed to be over an hour ago. No one knows where the doctor's at. Um, did y'all really tell him? Did y'all make sure you told him that my surgery is supposed to be at 2? She said, "Yes, let me call him and see what's going on." So she called back and let me know that he was running a little bit behind on his case at the surgical hall, at the surgical outpatient place. And plus, he's stuck in traffic, because it was bad weather. It's raining. But he is on his way. I said, "Good." No sooner than 20 minutes passed by, maybe 15 minutes passed after I talked to his office, this anesthesiologist came. And he said, "Well, the doctor's not here yet, but, they did call him and, we, did talk, text back and forth, wherever they do." So he said, "Well, I can give you some medicine now because we do have to do a nerve block." And I had one of those before. So let me give you some medicine. And it started to relax me. Time the doctor showed up, by this point, it was like 4. So it was really, it was really, it was really raining really badly that all day, all day. So it was bad weather, and traffic was all backed up everywhere you went. And he talked, and he drew some arrows on my arm. So they took me on the way to the operating room, they took me into a specialty room. And the anesthesiologist did the nerve block. And he gave me some other relaxing medicine because it was kind of starting to wear off. It only hurt for a couple minutes. You had to sit still. And within maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes, as they were reeling me into the operating room, I did feel my shoulder, my arm, everything going numb. And the doctor said that exactly it's going to be like that for a couple hours to a day, you know. The anesthesiologist said that. And then we got in the operating room and gave me something, made the room spin, and it said, just think of a happy place, and boom, I was off to sleep. Came out of the anesthetic in the operating room okay. However, I was in a lot of pain. They did have a problem controlling my pain. And my heart rate was kind of high because I was hurting and all this. The blood pressure was high. Total time spent, I remember, in the recovery room was about 4 hours. And they had this thing, and this is what this thing was. It's a support pillow for your arm. See, this thing opens up. I don't know how I can show you. This thing opens up, and you put your elbow here, and your arm like this. So if you lay down, your arm is straight up. So it doesn't. It's supposed to elevate your arm, and it keeps it straight up when you lay down flat on the bed. It keeps it from moving around and all that. Well, they had that on me as well in the recovery room with a arm, with a arm sling. And after being in pain for 30 minutes, they give me more drugs and more drugs and more drugs and more drugs. And the nurse went to talk to somebody, and the anesthesiologist came back and said, "Well, we can do another nerve block. I can give you a little bit more medication for that." And it did, and that helped. But they also took that off to do that nerve block again. And I think the problem was they had my arm in that thing with the arm sling against the railing. I was in a weird position on the stretcher. And I think with all that was pushing pressure on my arm around my incisions. And I also think they wrapped my hand too tight, because when I went home, after the numbing stuff worn off, my hands are swollen, and it kind of hurt. So I kind of undone some of the bandaging and made it looser, and that felt a lot better. So I think them wrapping my arm too tight and my hand too tight and that stupid looking thing, they call it a Carter pillow. Was causing the problem. After that, I was fine. So, and then they were kind of worried about all this medication they gave me in my breathing. It was suppressing it. So they monitored that for a long time. And when I was able to breathe okay, I was able to go home. Then another problem popped up. Well, they gave me a prescription for a narcotic, obviously, for surgery. They gave me a muscle relaxer, Flexeril. A prescription for stool softener, but it's really over the counter. Antibiotic. Well, the time I got back in my town, of course, I was released at the hospital around maybe 9:30, 9 o'clock at night. So the time I got home in my area, I was around maybe 10:30 maybe. Well, we went to the only 24-hour pharmacy that we have in our town. It was actually 2, but CVS doesn't take Blue Cross. So no go there, right? And I went to the Walgreens, And I barely go to this one anymore simply because they're always disorganized, always a long line. They take forever to find your medication. So I go to the Walgreens on the other side of town, which where I live, because there is no lines, never. I mean, if there is maybe 2 or 3 people, that's it, and it's pretty fast. And I know the pharmacist there and people, and I gave her the Narco, the pain medicine was on the separate prescription versus the other ones because it's a controlled substance, I guess. She looked at that and said, "Oh, we're out of stock, and we don't know we're going to get some in." Without looking at a computer or nothing. And I have some suspicions about that. She filled the Flexeril, which I don't know if that is a controlled substance or not, muscle relaxer, but she did fill the other ones. Within 20-30 minutes. But I called that Walgreens location the next day and asked them, I said this. My doctor gave me a prescription for Narco, and I want to make sure you'll have it before I bring it. Something to that effect. And another person, of course, is now day shift. And she said, "Oh yeah, we have we have this. Bring on down." So I don't think that they were out. I don't think so. I think it was a controlled substance that, for some odd reason, she didn't feel comfortable feeling. So how do you know you're out of something without even looking at a computer? Like I said, medications come in many different dosages. So how can she be out out of all the dosages? And thank God. And thank God I did have extra pain medicine on hand anyway. I remembered from my back surgery. So don't throw away your pain medicine. Keep it, because you never know when you need it. You may not have access to get to a pharmacy after something, after going to the emergency room or having surgery. Because look what happened to me. Because that was the only 24-hour pharmacy around here, unless I go to the next town over. And I'm not 100% for sure if they have a 24-hour pharmacy. Because the other Walgreens I always go to, they close at 9. The pharmacy does. None of the grocery store pharmacies stay open that late. I mean, if that was really true, and worst case, if worst come to worst, and if I had none left, yeah, I would have taken it to CVS and pay cash for it. Probably $50. If worst came to worst, I would have done that. But luckily, I remembered, I have some, may not be the exact dosage, but I do have some Narco from a back surgery. And, ultimately, they do have a right to do that, the pharmacy. But however, don't lie to somebody about that. Don't say, "Oh, we're out of stock," but you're really not. Be honest. I mean, she can tell on the computer. I use Walgreens. I don't know if it was since it was a controlled substance. Since it was so late at night, and the hospital and doctor's name was like 30 miles away. I don't know. That could be a a contributor to that. I don't know, but it just really highly doubtful that a busy Walgreens is out of stock of something like that. And then they claim they don't know when they're going to get some in. Well, yeah, they do know. Um, so, but this is what the thing looks like. My cast looking thing. See, the cast kind of starts from back here in the elbow area and continues all the way down to my hands. I can move my hands. There is incision in the palm of my hand I can feel, and as well as the wrist. So I think it's maybe one incision. I don't know. I don't want to know what to. And the incision's right here at the elbow. I'll go to the doctor's office tomorrow to have the stitches removed. Thank God. This has been really painful. It really has. First couple of nights I've been sleeping in the recliner. That was okay, but I had to have help somebody to get me out of it. You know, the recliner with the little handle on the side. You know, you pull to raise up the feet, the foot end of the recliner. Well, I had to have somebody to help me to put down the foot part. You know, so you have to pull the handle. It's on the right hand side. See. But in the last couple of nights, I've been sleeping in my bed with a whole bunch of pillows. Not really using this yellow thing, but I kind of leaned it, get my whole bunch of pillows and kind of lean it towards using that. So my hand is straight up. Difficult to get in the car. If you sit in the passenger side, it's difficult. Taking a shower is really difficult. You have to get a trash bag or a bag and get tape so you don't get wet. Because this is a cast. Parts of it's a cast. Some days I don't need to take a pain pill at all. Some days I do. Today I do. You know, I did. Really, any place. If I have to leave the house or take a shower, I do take a pain pill. The thing says take 2, but I take 1 of the Narcos. And I do take a muscle relaxer. I haven't really used those really. Just for the first couple days. I do take 2 pain pills and a muscle relaxer to get in the bathtub, because that is the hardest part, is trying to bathe and then trying to get your clothes back on and back off. Because, you know, the shirt, the opening of the arm of the shirt has to fit over this. So that's a challenge. Opening bottles. I can barely close my fingers together to turn. So I have to have a family member to open up all the water bottles. Or loosen them. I can do it with my one hand. Like I said, I go to them tomorrow to have the stitches removed. The lady said the doctor won't be there, but the nurse practitioner will be there. So I think I might be off for another week or 2 of work to let all this heal up. Other than that, I'm doing okay. I'm just real tired. I don't get very good sleep, obviously. Who can? This thing's really uncomfortable. You can't. If they didn't make this cast going into the elbow, I can make my arm go straight, and that will feel a lot better instead of having it at an angle. Of course, I have a pillow too that I put on top of the, like right now I have the top of my desk, or anytime I'm in the car, I put it like this against my, my body as well. Um, that seems to help too. But other than that, I'm doing okay. I'll let y'all know what the doctor says tomorrow. Um, just not. Let me explain. Anytime a big person he has to have surgery, it's very difficult, especially if you're operating on a part of your body like an arm or a leg, especially a leg. I don't know how anyone who is overweight can get around easy after surgery that has had something to do with their leg or ankle or anything like that. That has to be hell. Um, because you just can't move easy. And I don't know how many times I have banged this against the doorway. Because, it kind of sticks out if you're wearing a um, brace, arm sling. Um, but it's just not an easy thing. Um, Matter of fact, I was hurting a little bit. I don't know, it was the way I had it positioned all day yesterday. At night time, it was hurting a lot. So, like I said, I keep y'all posted with what they say tomorrow. Talk to y'all later.